What's up, how are you?
How are you, man?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you, dude.
Thank you for inviting us over.
Yeah, come on
Nice
in.
little crib you got here. Just from the outside, I was impressed.
Wait
You know
till
what
you
I mean?
see, dude. It's fun.
I got a
It's
feeling
fun.
Tommy lives large. I got a feeling. I just got a feeling.
Come on.
Wow. Damn. This is awesome.
Thanks, buddy. This is super fun. Like, it can rain in the house.
Oh, man, I love it.
The roof retracts, and it's all stone and plants down in the atrium. I remember when I got the place, man, I brought my kids over here. I got the keys. There's nothing in the place. Escrow closed. I'm like, you guys got to see this. And it was drizzling outside. I opened up the roof,
Kids'
and
paradise,
it was
man.
raining, and my kids were like, Dad, it's raining in the house. I go, yeah. They go, that's insane.
That's so awesome. Bring out.
You feel like you're outside.
You got to hook the doorbell up to that.
Yes, I know. I know.
That should be your doorbell. So, Tommy, you're into cooking, I understand, but wow, wow, wow. See, I am a cooking guy. Look at this. Today, we were hanging out down at the Sunset Strip. You know, I wanted to give some history about this town and all that. And man, it's like everywhere you look, there's either a picture of you, a Motley Crue playing here or something, the Whiskey, all that. Seeing all that, you know, Lemmy, all the way. We went to the Rainbow, and when I think back about the 80s, all that, it was the coolest time, the funnest thing, but I just can't roll that way. You know, I'm walking there, there's a lot of dudes still dressed up that same way.
We used to have the biggest parties, man, because we all lived together as a band, literally in walking distance, maybe 45, 50 steps away from the Whiskey. And Vince would get on the mic and be like, yeah, after the show, everybody come on up to the pad, having an after party. And there would literally be 400, 500 people in our little shitty apartment that we all lived in.
Lord,
Cops are coming over,
I
like, you
never
guys, you
rolled
can't
that
have parties like this here.
I'm just really impressed at your chopping skills.
Sometimes you don't always pay attention to the recipes, but you pay attention to the safety shit because you're like, I need these, right?
You're one of the biggest stars. And you don't go humble on me. Just
oh man,
you
I'm
don't
gonna
have to
start
say
turning
nothing.
red and shit.
I know, I'm with you. I might get red saying it, but why weren't you a front man? Why did you get stuck with the drums? I mean, you're a badass drummer. Don't get me wrong. But
you know what? I think that's one of the reasons I'm not that kind of personality where being in the back playing the drums is enough for me. I'm like,
Sure
I'm like, no. I want to be up there. I want to be the ringleader.
drums turning upside down, circling over the arena.
That's what started all that for me. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do something spectacular, you know? And I remember going to my very first concert. I went to go see Pat Travers. Tommy Aldridge was playing drums, and he's a badass drummer.
Yeah, he was
right?
so physical.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there and he breaks into a drum solo and I'm looking around and everyone's leaving. People are going to get a beer, going to buy a shirt, going to bathroom, whatever. And I was like, it freaked me out so much that I was like, I understand why they're leaving because everybody's not a drummer and no one can see what he's doing technically. There's a big wall of drums here. All you see is sticks flailing. So that inspired me, seeing that and other drum solos inspired me to like take it up front and show people what's going on back there. So I started rotating the drums halfway so now they'd have a top view.
I saw that too.
And then I started spinning them around and now they're on roller coasters. Wait till you see the new one I'm building right now, dude. It's fucking insane.
So who was your drum hero growing up? I mean, who was
John Bonham.
Why does every drummer I ask say that? I guess he was the best, right?
Dude, he was insane, and I'm so bummed I never got to see him play live. That's the one thing, like when people go, hey, you got any regrets? You know, like that.
You know, what about singers? I mean, what bands did you, I mean, like if you said, oh man, I want a singer like that when I start my first band.
I was always a fan of, man, when I first heard AC/DC, like Bon Scott, that screaming, just like nasty shit. And that's some of the first stuff that I like. But then I started getting into other soulful singers. Man, I listened to Michael Jackson, Don't Tell Anybody, but I think one of the first records I bought was the Osmond Brothers, if you can believe that shit. It's almost embarrassing to say, but...
I'm going to let you off the hook.
Okay, man, cool.
Tommy was really little. When that happened,
that was really little, by the way.
He was really little. What's your favorite venue in LA, the most influential place where you just said, someday I want to headline that place or whatever?
Well, it was it was the Forum. You know, when you grew up, you're like, man, one day if we could just play the
Fill
Forum.
this mother up.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And eventually we did. I remember seeing my mom and dad sitting out at the soundboard. And my dad's smoking. This was when you could smoke in there. Smoking a big cigar, and my mom's all like dolled up. And I'm sitting there, and I see the look on his face. I mean, I left my senior year of high school, got a recording contract and bailed. And my parents were always like, dude, you know, why? I'm like, I gotta do this. This is it. And so they were always skeptical. And that day came when they're at the Forum and they're looking around and the place is sold out. And my dad all of a sudden got that look of like, that's my boy. And but that's the first time you get that, you know, because all through school they're like, what are you doing with this music stuff? All right, you take this and just kind of get the edges wet so it sticks. Let's get that guy on there.
Oh, a turnover.
Little spring roll action.
Excuse me.
All right, kids, do your thing.
Where's your head at musically?
I'm always, you know, shooting for the hybrid shit that, you know, isn't really supposed to go together. I just feel like I want to make something new all the time because I've heard it all. Yeah, buddy.
Tommy, I'm gonna take a bite of this, but it's time to make some music. You down with that?
Beat down.
All right, all right.
Hey! Oh, sweet and sticky. Oh, you're rock candy, baby. So hard, sweet and Hey, that's work on a guitar player trying to sing and play like that, man. I've never sang and played that song. I always have another guitar player. Boy.
Oh, shit.
I have to say, well, hey, y'all.
Nice job, buddy. Nice job.
Stretch yourself a little bit, brother. I'm going. I felt like Paige and playing at the same time. You know?
Sounded awesome, man. Fucking awesome. Yeah. I finally got to play that shit with you guys, man. That's cool.
Okay, we played together. We played Rock Candy in Cabo, but with another guitar player, I used to just sing, right? You know? But Tommy, you kicked that off pretty hard, man. You know Carmasi, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
hell yeah.
not too many guys have that foot. No. It's that the guys that let you go. It's like ba 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 duka taka. There's what a one is. Excuse me, thank you. That's a day's work. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tommy Lee on the drums.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Anthony on the bass.
That's right.
And your host,
Yours truly, at your service.
the Red Rockers.
Yes, sir.
At your service.
That was fucking rad.
Service.
That was fucking awesome. Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, this studio, Tommy, you got a little vibe going on here, man. It's like, the close quarters, everything, you know, you got all the mics and the different, I mean, all the amps out of here.
Yeah.
And you can just get the badass drum sound, but still have the feel together.
Right.
Strong.
Thanks, my man.
That's the way it should be.
Right here on the Sunset Strip with my buddy Michael Anthony. Woo, in the house. Mike, a lot of history here, man. It all came down right here. We got the Viper Room, the Whisky,
You got the Rainbow. You got the Roxy
House of Blues, in the house.
right there.
People in the old days, in the 70s and 80s, would be walking down this thing, everybody looked like a rock star.
What's up?
Now we're on the Sunset Strip.
Oh, man. You knew you were in Hollywood as soon as you hit the Tower Records, because you
Yeah.
come around the bend and there was Tower Records
That
right
was
there.
the beginning, that was the heart.
That's when you knew you were there.
Yeah.
That you're here in Hollywood.
Tinseltown, movie location tours. It's all right here. It's all right here. Oh, Tower Records, here it is.
Right here. This was the old Tower Records right here.
And it's still for lease. Look at that.
The most famous record store down here in Southern California was right there.
Bands used to play there
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Whiskey A Go-Go. Come on to Whiskey A Go-Go. Here we are at the world famous Whiskey A Go-Go. A rockin' joint here right on the Sunset Strip, right in the heart of Hollywood, California, okay? Now, more things happen inside this place. I've saw more bands here. Every great band during my era
And my era.
played here.
But what about the gig we did here?
We were trying to do some secret thing for a while, right?
In '93, we were going to do a secret gig, but I remember it was like no advertising, nothing. If anybody's walking by, they could come into the place and watch us play, but we weren't, that was the whole thing.
That was pre-internet. Before
Yeah.
the internet, you know,
Yeah.
the word didn't get out as easy.
So
We
instead
were
of,
trying to keep it down low.
everybody tweeting about it, like the day before the show, they put it up on the marquee. Van Halen here tomorrow night. Nice. Guess they,
10,000 people trying to get it in this little mother.
There were like thousands of kids all out here on the street, and somebody told them, they said, hey, you got to go down to the Palladium, down that way to get a wristband to get in. And thousands of kids are just bum rushing, right? They're bum rushing Sunset Boulevard.
They blocked the whole strip off.
Yeah.
Fire department came and shut the whole thing down. News teams, cameras, you know, helicopters, police. Then they shut us down.
We played about
four
four
songs. Yeah. Hey, come on, let's go
Let's go
inside.
down, check it out.
Let's go see what has really happened here. See if
Yeah.
the walls still, if the walls can talk. Let's go find out.
Oh boy. Check this place out.
Look at my man that's next to him. This was the club in LA. If you played
Yeah.
here, to me, growing up, the bands that played here, they had already made it. I thought they were already rich and famous.
Yeah.
Little do I know that they were probably starving to death, all sleeping in the same room and driving in a station wagon across country with their gear in the back, right?
Oh, like what, like Cream, you mean?
Yeah.
You saw Cream here, right?
Yes, I saw Cream. I actually walked up and bought a ticket, drove all the way from San Bernardino with some buddies, and we bought a ticket and walked right in. I stood right there. Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce. I'm just eye contact with Eric Clapton. Was, you know, my hero of all time. And I wanted to play guitar, and I was starting to learn to play, but I didn't have a guitar. The next day, I went home, went to my favorite music store, and sat outside that place and watched till that guy left the counter. I ran in and grabbed a Les Paul off the wall and started playing guitar. The next day, I
Write
stole.
a song off of something like
Well,
that experience like that.
I don't like to get around. I don't want kids coming to my music store and stealing my shit.